Yes, indeed. It's me. Look.
Okay, what's up, folks? It's your boy LoyalceeCorner. I'm back with another banger, as per usual. As I like to say, I am not an astrologer or astrologist. I just love astrology, and that's just what it comes down to. So today, we're here to talk about Capricorn. Everything about Capricorn. We're going to lay it down on the table. We're going to talk about Capricorn this, Capricorn that, Capricorn everything. Capricorn is an earth sign, and it's cardinal. Cardinal was just creating new energy, basically, right? Here's an example. All right, let's say you have a Capricorn, right, that works in a company. Let's say like they're the janitor of the company, and they get into it with their manager. Most people who usually get into an altercation with their manager, how would they handle a problem with their manager or a boss? They would probably like talk to somebody about it, probably say, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, just basically express their feelings. The mind of a Capricorn, the way their mind works is like, you know what, I'm gonna leave this company and become the boss of my own company. Or another thought of a Capricorn would be like, cardinal energy of creating new ways. Basically, like, they will find ways how they can move up from their janitorial position and become the CEO. Like, they will find practical ways, like ways to create these thoughts and create new ways to basically take over the company. Like, you know what? Like, you got me effed up. I'm gonna take over the whole company and become his boss. Like, this is how Capricorns think. Thing is about a Capricorn, they're very determined and like they're very disciplined. They can do that. Like, they would actually take your job. Capricorns are the type of people at your job. You look at those folks like, man, they take this job way too serious. They don't care about nobody. They will step on your foot. Like, if they got a problem, they will report you. Like, they will do things the right way in the work field. Like, they're savages. Like, they can take your spot, they will take your job, and then they'll show you how to do it right. They will actually like report you, and honestly like show you like they're not playing with you. Like, Capricorns get down like that. They're all about elevating in life. That's what they do. Like, they don't like to be stagnant in the same spot, which is a great thing. They're very goal oriented. Like, they will work from the bottom to the top. Like, Capricorns are very, very good at that. These folks, honestly, they're all about their business. How people is like, oh, like business and pleasure. I'm not saying that Capricorns are not about pleasure, but they're more about all business than a little bit of pleasure. Capricorns, these folks will outwork you. These folks are about that work life, about that money. People like to say that certain signs are like materialistic, like Taurus, Leos, which is kind of true, honestly, because Taurus do like to find things in life, and so does Leo. But Capricorn are very materialistic. LeBron James is a Capricorn. Perfect example. How people were saying like he was going from team to team to team. He's about what he feels is right, and he makes the right decision based on not off of feelings about what's right and what's the best thing to do, honestly. Excuse me, I forgot that's in my eye. But so yeah, LeBron James is a perfect person to show you that. Came from high school into the NBA at 18 years old, and he's the king, damn near greatness, right? So LeBron James is the perfect typical Capricorn. They're about putting hard work in and basically superseding people's expectations. Like, when it comes to success, they can be very, very successful, right? People can say that like they're like very bossy, very authoritative, and honestly, that's the truth. To be honest, like, there's bosses and there's workers, and there's nothing wrong with being a worker. Capricorns rather just be the boss, and like they can be very good bosses because like their minds, like I said, like they're about like what needs to get done, the practicality. They're like the boss type mentality, no matter what. That's what Capricorns are. They bring that into their world, like into their actual, not work life, into their actual life. Bossy is not always a bad thing. People can say that Capricorns are very emotionally detached, right? Like, let's say you have a friend that's telling you like their problems, they're breaking down. You're telling your Capricorn friend your issues, and your Capricorn friend is just looking at you, and you're looking at the Capricorn like, are you listening to me? Like, because like the look on their face, like you're pouring your heart out to this Capricorn, and like they're just like with a cold stare look, but they're listening to you. But the thing is that you're basically pouring out your emotions, your heart out to them. They're looking at you like, okay, this person is too emotional. Instead of focusing on their emotions, they're trying to basically formulate what you're telling them. They're overlooking the emotional part of your problem, and they're trying to find ways to help your problem. This is how a mind of a Capricorn works, but you're basically pouring out your heart. You're looking for like that emotional crutch in a sense, right? Like, you just want somebody to be there for you emotionally. Capricorn, that's not how their minds work, honestly. So this is why people can feel like they're like a very emotional attack. They will like listen to your problems with a stone cold face, like they won't like cry with you or nothing like that. After you're done, Capricorn will give you advice. That's what they have. And you're looking at them like, I don't want advice. I just want you to be there for me emotionally. So this is problems that people may have. They feel like they're not emotionally there. Sometimes it's good to have a person that is not too emotional because it can cloud your judgment. So Cancer is the emotional because the moon correlates with, your emotions, right? So Cancer is the opposite sign of Capricorn. So where the moon is at in Cancer, it correlates with the Capricorn, but it's away. When the planet is away, it's not around. So the emotions is basically in the background. So that's how Capricorn is. Capricorn, look at your emotional problems. Like, this can be fixed with this advice. People can say they're too practical. They're so practical. It's like they don't have any emotion. No, they just trying to solve the problem. Capricorns are very practical people. Like, they can have limited resources, but they will find a way to solve whatever problem that they have. They're problem solve. The way a Capricorn is, like, they have like this parenting energy. They can basically, like, give you advice and tell you what to do, like authoritative parenting energy. That's just how they show they love, and that's just what it is. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. I can understand where somebody just needs somebody to be there for them emotionally, but hey, I mean, that's a Capricorn thing, so let them be them. Capricorns are very ambitious, right? They're very patient. These folks are like the most disciplined people. Like, if they have a goal that they're working on, it doesn't matter how long it will take for them to reach their goal. Capricorns are very disciplined enough to not to cut any corners, just look at the task at hand and trust the process. They're gonna achieve their goals regardless. Capricorns, they also like to hide their feelings. They suppress their feelings. They can be going through a lot, but they will not show you. They have a great poker face. Capricorns, they can be very, very sarcastic, like especially with their humor. Like, they have dry and sarcastic humor. People like to say Capricorns are boring, right? But like, they have like humor. To understand their humor is to understand them. I swear to God, I think that guy in that commercial, if you remember that Visine commercial, that clear eyes, dry eyes. I swear the dude's a Capricorn, yo. Like, he probably not, but I'm just saying, like, that's just what I get from the commercial. Like, he just reminds me of Capricorn. Like, they're just like, they have very dark humor and dry, sarcastic humor. Something about a Capricorn's instincts I can say is very sharp. They can tell your motive before you even tell them. They are very good at reading people. Use your instincts. Trust your instincts, because in case you didn't really know, Capricorn, I'm telling you that they can smell the BS from a mile away. So don't play with a Capricorn thinking that you can get over on them, because like, they not for it. Another thing about Capricorn is that like they can be very pessimistic. They like to look at the negative side, because not everything in life is peaches and cream. So you have to understand, Capricorn likes to look at the other side of things. You know what I mean? They know that there's negativity around the corner. Life is not always sweet. It's not their fault, because a lot of Capricorns in their life, they came across a lot of problems when they were younger. Problems like parenting problems, like loss of parents. And when I say loss, it doesn't have to only be like a death, but not speaking to their parents, like some type of issues with their parents. A lot of Capricorns face that in their life. They know that life is like it's not always a bright side. Like, if there's a bright side of life, which there is, there's always something bad bound to happen. Capricorn just basically like to look at life realistically. Yes, they can be very pessimistic. Some signs, they have an optimistic look on life, and some signs are just very pessimistic. That's just how the cookie crumbles. Capricorns, they seem like they're know-it-alls, and a lot of people think like, yeah, like Capricorns, they think they know everything. The reason why they come off as know-it-alls, which they kind of do, which they are kind of know-it-alls, honestly, is because Capricorns like to look at the facts. You tell Capricorn, oh, this is that, this is that, and they'll be like, oh, and you're like, oh, like, what you mean? Oh, the reason why they're like that is because Capricorn, they hear what you're saying. They're not the naive type of people like to believe what you're saying. Like, they'll listen to what you're saying. Capricorns like to deal with facts. So Capricorn will do their research, right? You'll tell Capricorn something, and they'll be like, I don't know. But then they go home, or whatever, go on their phone, do the research, and then come back to you. I found out this, then the third, and then you be like, but I told you that. And then, but they'll be like, no, but you didn't say this. So like, they like to go and do their research and then come back with all this information about something that you said. So like, because you didn't give them the full information in detail, they felt as though like it's not believable. So like, they like to go and do their research and come back with the facts. They deal with facts, and you can't be mad at that. A lot of times they do be knowing what they're talking about. They're not sure what they're talking about, they don't talk about it. They go do the research, so that way they're sure, and they'll come back with the facts, right? Cool. Like, a Capricorn in love, they can be like very loyal to the person that they're in love with. Nobody's perfect. People cheat and this and everything like that, but honestly, Capricorns can be very, very loyal. Sometimes they can be more loyal to their job or to their career more than they are in their relationship, but honestly, like, they're very loyal lovers. Sometimes like the boss mentality can come into play, or the parenting, like to tell them what to do. Capricorn females, a lot of them, honestly, the ones that's like really about their business, they look at men that they're trying to date as like stepping stones about the exposed fact. If they feel like they can't build with you, like, like you're not on their level, you, then they're not gonna take you serious. Even if they're dealing with you sexually, they'll deal with you sexually, and you probably feel a type of way about them that they don't feel about you. And honestly, Capricorn females, they can look at their relationships as opportunities. Capricorns are opportunists, people, honestly. You know, like, they look at, I mean, he got good sex and all that, but I can't see myself with him because, you know, he's not on my level, like, financially, mentally. They'll play this game with you until they find somebody that's on their level and they'll move on, or that's above their level. But they're not gonna deal with somebody or settle for somebody that's below their standards. Capricorn goes into relationship not only with their hearts, they go in there with their mind. So it's like more like a business. How can we form this relationship and this bond that we have into something greater? What kind of business we can form through this marriage or this companionship? What kind of, you know, opportunities we can get? You know, this is how Capricorns think. Like, if they're dating somebody and they feel as though like that person is not about their business, they're about their money, they don't stand on anything, they're not gonna deal with you. And that's just how it goes. It sounds a little bit harsh, but it is what it is. Capricorns are about status. A Capricorn, honestly, like, they worry about how people view them career-wise. They're about status. So if you're next to them, you gotta be about the same thing or more or better. They're not gonna deal with you. Like, and so that's why people can say that Capricorns are users, or like, they look at people as opportunists, stepping stones. Capricorns, that's just how they work. Like, it's just what it is. Like, sorry, like, that's just how Capricorn mind works, honestly. So if you like the Capricorn and you want to be with this Capricorn, make sure that you up to par. Make sure you about your business. Make sure you want to grow and elevate in life and do big things, because if you don't, Capricorns don't really see any future with you. Even if they're dealing with you, it's not gonna last long. I promise you. Capricorns, they're ambitious, they're practical, they're bossy, they're authoritative. Trust and believe, even though like a Capricorn may seem like they don't have any emotions, if you break down those walls, they're not as cold as they seem. Anybody that's very close enough to get a Capricorn to drop their guards, they're like one of the most loving people. Capricorns will hold you down. They're very loyal, like I said. So yeah, they can have that cold, dry, non-emotional look or vibe. If you get close enough to these Capricorns, like, they're a loving and caring people that will run and, you know, jump out the window for you if need be. Like, these folks have a good heart. Capricorns, they're not so cold and detached as they seem. Right, folks? So it's your boy LoyalceC. I'm out of here. Please like, share, and subscribe. I have more videos coming. Sorry for the wait. It's your boy LoyalceC, and I'm out. Okay.